Honestly, being a Transformers video game fan is becoming one of the most sad things in the entire world.
You can't keep getting away with it!
What's going on, everybody? My name is Blitzwinger, ladies and gentlemen. It is once again one of those times, like, honestly, it's like those lines, you know, about like, hey, Transformers game not getting canceled challenge. Impossible, because legitimately, I don't understand how this keeps happening. Over and over and over again, we have these cancellations that we get to find out about for Transformers titles. Now, before we dive into the actual details of this, because we did get some really cool concept art images to share for this particular cancellation, which makes all of this so much more painful, please scroll on down, smash the thumbs up button. Thank you guys so very much for the support, and let's dive on in. Honestly, I now understand why Transformers fits into the genre of being a work of science fiction, because quite frankly, it seems like seeing a brand new Transformers game is science fiction. Okay, my bad on that one. But here's a better one. Why does Megatron want to conquer Earth? So he could force a game studio to finally finish one of these games? Now, all kidding aside, let's talk about what we actually have here, because honestly, it does pain me to talk about it, but man, some of these designs are so freaking beautiful. So, what do we have? We have Adam Hartley from Hartell Studios sharing images of concept art that he did for a video game that was canceled, titled Project Goliath, that was going to be released by Skydance Interactive. Now, a lot of you might be scratching your heads and going like, who the heck is Skydance Interactive? Or do they make like mobile games? What do they actually do? Well, as of right now, they don't have really a great track record when it comes to video game side of things, because as you can see, these are their biggest games. So not really the best studio slash publisher to be, I guess, looking forward to making your game, but they are also working on Marvel 1943, the Rise of Hydra game. So hopefully that will be a great game. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they cook up there, and maybe that will be their first big hit, both commercially and critically, and we end up with a really exciting title. But regardless, what is cool is the fact that this looks like it would have been a game that probably came out in tandem with the Rise of the Beasts movie. And the reason why that's obvious is because one of the concept art images is clearly inspired by Mirage's exosuit from the Rise of the Beasts movie. Spoiler alert, even though I feel like it's been years now since that movie came out, so I don't really know if I need to do spoiler alert. But it's a really cool design for sure. I really love the purple recolor. It looks really, really neat. Kind of reminds me of the color scheme for like Shockwave. Then we have this really cool looking design for Bumblebee, which in robot form does look different than his Rise of the Beast appearance, but his vehicle form clearly seems to be inspired by that sort of dune buggy vibe that he had in that film. So again, makes sense that if this was supposed to be a tie-in game or something that was releasing around the same time as Rise of the Beast, it makes sense that they would go for this particular look. And then we have the absolute stealer of the show, and that is Optimus Prime.
Time to find out.
I mean, holy moly. This is one of the best looking designs I've ever seen for Optimus ever. I love the fact that it essentially takes his G1 look and just essentially kind of, I guess, like spruces it up a little bit with sort of the aesthetic of the live action Transformers movies from Michael Bay, adding a little bit more, I guess, over detailing in certain parts, but overall still keeping that silhouette shape of the classic G1 design. This looks sick. It really just pains me to think that, man, imagine a whole video game where we got to play as these designs. That would have been incredibly, incredibly cool. And of course, all of these reveals coming right after we saw the cancellation of Transformers Reactivate, where we saw actual gameplay leak for it, is just a bummer. I mean, we know that Hasbro has said that they're going to try to focus on actually developing video games going forward and making it a bigger part of their portfolio. But man, oh man, seeing two, or at least what looks like two cool Transformers games getting canceled in the span of like the last, couple of years here is certainly a bummer. It really does seem like Transformers just cannot catch a break when it comes to the video game side of things. So hopefully, sooner rather than later, we're going to see one of these teams stick it out, get one of these games launched, released, and be on par with those iconic Cybertron games that all of us have continuously played all these years after their original release. But let me know what you guys think. Do you like the designs of Project Goliath as much as I do? Do you think that the game probably got scrapped after the underperformance of Rise of the Beast at the box office? And would you actually like to see a big giant Transformers game released in, let's say, 2026 or sometime soon? Let me know down in the comments section below, because I personally think the safest bet that we as Transformers video game fans have is to try and hope that those Cybertron games finally get a re-release or a remaster or something like that, and that if those sell well, then there would be enough of a confidence from the executive side of things to be like, yeah, let's greenlight a big AAA Transformers game in whatever, the year 2027, 2028, hopefully sometime sooner rather than later. Regardless though, like I mentioned at the top, don't forget guys, if you enjoyed today's video, smash that thumbs up button. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I will hopefully be back with some better Transformers news sooner rather than later as well. And of course, like I always say, have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. Peace out. See y'all later, alligators. Bye-bye, everybody.